Are you looking into making a Discord bot for your server? Do you want to make your server more exciting, more engaging? Well then, you can do this with a Discord bot. And that's what I'm going to be showing you today, a complete beginner's guide in creating a Discord bot for your server. Hi friends, it's James and welcome back to my channel. So today in this video, we're going to be making a Discord bot from scratch for your server. I'm going to be guiding you through the process of exactly how you can do it. So by the end of this, you'll have a fully functioning Discord bot for your server that works inside of your server, and you'll also understand how it works. However, just before we jump into this video on how we can create a Discord bot from scratch, I want to quickly say that I've got a Discord server. And if you've got any problems when creating this bot, feel free to join and we'd be happy to help you fix those problems and get you on your way. But without further ado, let's jump into making a Discord bot from scratch for your server. Okay then, so to create this Discord bot, we're going to be using the Python programming language. If you have no idea what that is, or you've heard of it but you've got no idea how it works, don't worry, I'll still explain everything in this video here. So if you're worried because you've never used it before, do not worry, because in this tutorial, I'll still guide you through everything, so do not worry about that. But the first thing that we need to do is to check that you actually have Python installed on your computer. Well, how do we do that? Well, you want to open up the terminal. And to do this, you're going to hold the Windows key and R, and you can type CMD and then enter. And then the terminal here will open. And inside of this terminal here, you want to type Python 3, --version, like that. And you can see here that I've got 3.8.10. And as long as you have 3.8 or above, that is fine. You've got Python installed correctly. However, if it pops up saying that Python's not recognized, or you have a Python version lower than 3.8, well, we need to install Python 3.8 onto your computer. So how do we do that? Well then, if you haven't got Python installed in the slightest, or you've got an older version, you want to, if you're on Windows, head to the Microsoft Store. I know this might seem a bit weird in why we want to install Python from here, but honestly, this is just the best way to do it. And when you're here, you want to search for Python 3, wait for it to load, and then you want to come here and install the latest version of Python, so 3.10, and that will work fine. Go ahead and click Get and Install. However, I'm just going to stick with 3.8 because 3.8 will still work for what we're doing. But you might as well, if you're installing Python for the first time, go for the latest version. So go ahead and click Get, and then it will go through the process of installing Python onto your computer. Once you've done that, you just want to restart your computer just so everything's registered correctly. And then if you head back to the terminal and you run Python again, to check the version, you should hopefully see it pop up like this, Python with the version number afterwards. If that's worked correctly and is popped up with a version with at least 3.8 or above, lovely, Python's installed in your computer correctly and we're ready to start programming our Discord bot. However, if you follow those steps before and for some reason it's just saying that Python's still not recognized, or you've got a lower version Python number, well, join my Discord server and we'll help you get that sorted. So we need to now start writing the code for our Discord bot. But to write our code, we need somewhere where we can write it. And the way we write programming code is in something called an IDE. What is an IDE? Well, an integrated development environment. It's, as I just said, a place in where we can write code. And there's hundreds of IDEs out there. But the one I recommend you use is VS Code. It's the best one out there in my opinion, and it will get the job done perfectly. So you might be wondering, how do I install VS Code? Well then, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can head to a website, and all you have to do is just click download and follow through the instructions to install VS Code onto your computer. However, if you'd like to watch a video on how to install it, well then I've made a video, a complete beginner's guide on installing VS Code on your computer. So I'll leave a card in the top right here and a link in the description. So if you just want to watch a video on how to do it, then follow along with that. And once you've followed along with that, come back to this video and continue with creating your Discord bot. Bear in mind, if you've got another IDE installed, maybe like Atom or Sublime Text, that will still work perfectly. So as long as you have an IDE installed, a place where you can write code, that is great. That's what we need for our next step of creating a Discord bot. Okay, so what's the next step? Well, we're going to come over here, and inside of our directory here, we're going to create a file called main.py. This is the brains of our bot. So this is where our main bot code will go. And in a couple of minutes' time, we'll get into writing this actual code. But before we do that, we need to register our bot with Discord. And you might be wondering, why do we need to register it first before we've actually written the code for it? Well, you'll see in a second. So how do we register a bot? Well, you want to open up your browser, go to Google and search for Discord Developer Portal. And then you want to click on the top link here. I'll leave a link in the description for this, so just go ahead and click down there if you just don't want to search for it through Google. And well, this is a documentation, but we need to get to the actual main portal. So we can do that by coming up to Applications here. And you can see here that I'm already signed in. However, most likely when you clicked Applications, it will pop up with like a sign-in menu. What you want to do is sign in with your Discord account. So you're now on the Applications page, and most likely you won't have any applications here. It will say something around the lines of create an application or new application. And that's what we want to do. So an application is your Discord bot. Think of it like that. So you want to come over here, and you want to click new application, and then you want to give it a name. And well, I want to quickly point out, this name that we give it here isn't the name of your bot. We'll define the name of our bot later on, as you will see. This is just the overall name of your application. However, you can still name it the name of your bot if you want to, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to name it YouTube Tutorial, like that. Then once you've given it your name, you want to go ahead and click create. Once you've done that, you'll open up to something that looks a lot like this. And well, this is where we get into the main parts of our bot. You don't need to worry about anything over here. This is all irrelevant for what we need to create a bot. But what is relevant is you want to come over to where it says bot here. You want to click it, and it's going to pop up with a page exactly like this. With a title of build a bot. We want to create our bot. We want to register it, what I mentioned a few minutes ago. And we're going to now register our bot with Discord. So to do that, we come over and click add bot. It's now going to pop up saying a message like this: adding a bot to your app gives the app visible life in Discord. However, this action is irreversible. That is fine, and this is what I was talking about in terms of registering our bot with Discord. So yeah, that's fine. We want to go ahead and add it. So yes, do it. Lovely. We've now technically got a bot with the username of YouTube Tutorial, and that's fine. I'm going to keep it like this. And you know how I said earlier that you can set the name of your Discord bot? Well, that's this here. The username is the name of your Discord bot. So let's say you wanted to name your Discord bot Cheese. You'd come into the username here and type cheese, like that. And then you go ahead and click Save Changes. But I'm going to just keep mine as YouTube Tutorial for now. If you want to give your bot like a profile picture, then you can go ahead and select an image here by clicking it and then going to somewhere in your file explorer where you've got that image and uploading an image here if you want to. But I'm not going to do that now. So great, we've now set up our bot. Our bot is now functioning lovely. And we don't need to change any of the stuff down here at the moment. Apart from, you want to come and enable both of these check boxes here. This will basically just allow your bot to interact correctly with your server. Also, you want to enable this bottom one here. Lovely. You've now enabled everything inside of your bot. So we can now head back to our IDE, but don't close this page down yet because we will need to come back to it in a few seconds time. And you'll see why when we come back to it. But let's now head back to the IDE. So lovely. You've now registered your bot with Discord. So we need to now start writing the actual code for it. But so to write code for our bot, we need a sort of way to connect our bot, this code we write here, with Discord. And to do that, we're going to use something called a package. And think of a package like someone sending you physically a package to your house. And inside of this package, it contains like an object. Let's say that for example, this package in this case here that we're going to be importing will contain code, someone else's code that we don't even need to worry about, but we can use that person's code through this package to allow us to connect to the Discord's APIs, Discord servers, to allow the code that we're about to write here to work with our bot on Discord. I really hope that does make sense. So basically, a package is where we're going to be using someone else's code to allow us to connect to Discord. So we need to install this package. Well, what is this package we're going to be using? Well, Nextcord. So we now have to install it. So how do we go ahead and install Nextcord? Well, it's very, very simple. You want to go ahead and open up your terminal. So like we did earlier, Windows R CMD, or if you're inside like VS Code, you can do Control Shift quote mark, and that will open up a built-in terminal in VS Code. And personally, I'm going to do it this way because I just think it looks a lot nicer. To install Nextcord, we're going to do this. We're going to type pi-3-m pip install-u Nextcord. You want to copy it out like this. When you click enter, hopefully it should install. However, you can see here that when I clicked enter just then, we got an error. And well, that's just because there's something weirdly configured on my computer. I could be bothered to fix it, but I'm not going to really do. So if this has got a similar error to you, as it hasn't installed and it's popped up with exactly like this, how do we get around this? Well, it's pretty simple. All we have to do is type pip 3 install -u Nextcord, and that will get around it. When you click enter, it will go ahead and install Nextcord. However, I'm not going to click enter because I've already installed Nextcord. So basically run either one of these commands, so either this one or this one, and it should install Nextcord. But as we're installing Nextcord, we should also install an extension package to Nextcord. And what this extension package does, it allows our bot to connect to voice channels, which you'll see later. So how do we install this extension package? Well, on the end of this command here, all you have to do is do square brackets, voice, close square brackets. That is it. So after you run your first command of just installing Nextcord, you're going to run the same command again, but with brackets voice after it. And that should hopefully install Nextcord's voice extension package. Again, when you run this command, if it pops up with this requested Python version not installed, go ahead and just do what I showed you earlier. pip3 install -u Nextcord brackets voice. That's how you get around this error here. So don't worry about that. So great. You've now installed Nextcord onto your computer. So we can now actually start writing code, which is pretty cool. So let's do it. Okay then, so up here, you want to come along and do import Nextcord. So great, what does this do? Well then, that package that we just installed, this allows us to access it. Import Nextcord, and the package we just installed was called Nextcord. So great, we can now access that package inside of our code. Then we want to do from Nextcord import interaction. Then from Nextcord.ext import commands. Like that. So what is this doing? Well, this line here is taking the specific function inside of Nextcord called interaction, and we're importing it as well. And the same again, we're importing commands from Nextcord, the package that we just installed. And you want to do the same because we're going to be using this interaction and commands part of the package later, and you'll see why in a second. So next, what do we have to do? Well, we want to come down and write intents is equal to nextcord.intents.default, open and close brackets, and then intents.members is equal to true. So what do these two lines do? Well, basically, just think of them as just allowing our bot to connect to the Discord server in a way. Just think of it like that. It's a bit more complicated by that, but I think that's a good just overview way of understanding what it does. I'll explain later on a later video if you want what that does. And now this is where it gets a bit more interesting. We're going to type client is equal to, and don't worry, I'll explain this all in a second once we've written this line. Command dot bot, open and close brackets, command underscore prefix is equal to exclamation mark, intense is equal to intense. So now, what does this line here? Well, we're defining our bot as a client, and this is how we refer to. Just think of it like the name of our bot inside of our code, as in this is how we refer back to our bot, if that makes sense. Then the next bit, commands. This is this package, this sub-package of Nextcord that we imported up here. So we're saying we want to go to this command sub-package, then we want to go to this bot part of it. So this bot part of it is inside of this command, so we want to access it. And then we're saying we want to register this bot, because this is what this bot part of this package does, with the command prefix of exclamation mark. Don't worry about this. This command prefix is how we used to interact with Discord bots a few months ago. But recently Discord announced that they're no longer using this. If you want to know more about this, I'll leave a link in the description to a video I did on this, or a card in the top right. So yeah, command prefixes are no longer used for communicating with Discord bots. That's how you used to be able to communicate with Discord bots, but no longer anymore. So, but this is actually a good point to talk about how we actually do communicate with Discord bots. Well, we communicate with them via slash commands, and you'll see what they are in a second if you don't already know, because you may have not actually used them. Or maybe you have used slash commands, you know exactly what they are. But yes, slash commands are how we're going to be talking to our bot. And then the intense part of this section here is what we just defined up here. Basically, you just think of it as like connecting to this Discord server. It is not that important, and you'll never need to touch it again in your Python development career. So yeah, that's what we've done. So now, we're going to get into a bit more interesting stuff. We're going to first now initiate the bot, and you'll see in a second what I mean by now. So we're going to do @client, and as you see, and as I said earlier, we're referring back to this client object here. We're basically just talking to our bot. So we're saying our bot, we're calling the name client, our client, so bot.event, like that. So what is an event? Well, an event is, think of it like something that the bot does completely on its own. Think of an event like that. And then below this event, we're going to type async def on underscore ready, open and close brackets, colon. And we're defining a function here called onReady. And this onReady function, what this does is when the bot has finished setting up, because when we run this code, it takes a couple of seconds for our bot to boot itself up. Think of it like as when you're waking up from sleep in the morning. When you wake up, it takes you a few minutes just to get out of that sleepy attitude. You know what I'm saying? Think of it like this for our bot. So basically saying when our bot's woken up, we want to send it a message to tell us. So we're going to say print, the bot is now ready for use. I hope that makes sense. So we're basically saying once the bot has booted up, we want it to print a message saying it's now ready for use. Hopefully that makes sense. And the client here, as I said earlier, relates back to this bit up here. Basically, think about the name of your bot. Is how we communicate with the actual core building blocks of our bot. I really hope that makes sense to you. Okay then, so now what are we going to do? Well, we're going to write the code to basically register our bot to finish setting it up. And then we'll go back and write a command. And I'll show you what a command is and what it does. But we're just now going to first finish the code in basically waking our bot up from sleep. Hope that makes sense. So I'm going to do client.run, open and close brackets, and then 2 single quotes like that. This client here relates to this client up here. We're communicating with our bot. Hope that makes sense. So now, what this run object does is it basically says, great, okay, I've been told to wake up from sleep, and I'm going to do that. And it's basically just going to communicate with our bot and tell our bot to wake up, connect to Discord, and be online in our server. But we need to input our bot specific token in here. And this token is what connects our bot specifically from here, from our code, to the bot that we registered earlier in this video. That's how we link what we created here to our code. And well, how do we get this code? Well, on this bot page here on the website, you're going to come to where it says token and click copy. It's now copied that your bot's token to your clipboard. And now inside of this client.run object, you can paste that. And look, this is the token for that bot that we registered on the Discord developer website. And this is how as I just said, this is how we connect our code that we've written here to that bot. And this will therefore allow your bot to run and be able to be used inside of Discord servers. So now if we were to run this code right, our bot would turn on and it would appear in a server online. Well, we technically haven't added our bot to a server yet, but I will go over that in a second. But before we add our bot to a server, I want to write a command. I want to show you how you can write your command so we could interact with our bot. So let's create a command. But first, what is a command? Well, think of a command as just in the way we interact with our bot. So let's say you're inside of your Discord server and you want to run the command hello. And well, this is a separate bot that I've got. And you can see here that if I run the command hello, the bot that I've got in this server, well, it's not actually online at the moment. As you can see here, it's offline in the top right, and that's why it didn't work. But if the bot was online, then it would reply with the word hello. And this brings me to a great point to explain what slash commands are. So slash commands, as I said earlier, is how we interact with our bot. So to do a slash command inside of the Discord, in the messages place where you write a message, if you type slash, it's going to pop up with the slash command box. And let's say you have the name, and let's say you have the command hello. You type hello, and that's it. And you can see that it's popped up with matching commands. And look, that is exactly how we write and use slash commands. So that's how you're going to be interacting with your bot. Okay then, so we now need to write slash commands. I'm going to show you how we can do this. So while we're in Discord here, make sure you're inside the server in where you want to be testing your bot, where you want to be developing your bot. And well, we now need to get the ID of this server because this is how slash commands work. So to get this ID, you first need to come to your settings. Once you're in your settings, you want to go down to advanced and make sure that developer mode is on. Once you've done that, you want to come over to your server in your side panel, right click it and click copy ID. We've now got the ID in where we want to develop our bot, where we want to be testing our bot. So if we head back to our code, we can define that. We can say that our testing server ID is equal to what we just copied. And this here is the ID of my testing server, the server that I was just in, that I just showed you. And this is vital for slash commands. I've created a more in-depth detail video on slash commands, in which I will leave a link for that in the description, as well as a card in the top right. So once you've done this, if you want to watch that to understand a bit more about the slash commands and the power of them, feel free to do that. However, if you're a beginner here and you've got no idea and you just want to create a basic slash command, a basic way to interact with your bot, do not worry. I'm still going to show you and explain it all in this video. So we've defined the testing server. Now we need to create a slash command. To do this, we're going to do @Nextcord, and here we're referring back to that package that we installed. So @Nextcord // command. Like that. So we've now defined that we want to be creating a slash command. Now we're going to open and close brackets and we give it the name hello, because this is the name of the function that we want to create. We want it so we can send the command hello in the chat and our bot replies with hello back. Then we're going to find a description, because inside of Discord you have the ability to define what each command does. And if you're here, let me show you what I mean. You can see here that below the hello, we've got a description called Introduction to Slash Commands. It just allows users to easily see what each command does for a bot. So you can see on the side here, I've selected this bot that's in this server, and you can see here it's got the description of what that command does. This, by the way, I just want to point out, this bot that's in this server isn't the bot that we are developing, that I've shown you. This is a separate bot that I've created. I'll still be showing you how we add a bot to a server and how we can use it later. So yes, this is a description. So we wanted to say, we're going to define what this command does. So it's a hello command, so we can say replies with hello. And I want to point out, this hello here has to have a lowercase. All has to be lowercase, otherwise it won't work. It will just error out and there will be loads of problems. So yes, make sure that is lowercase. So now we need to define the function inside of it. We need to write the code so it replies with hello. So to do this, we're going to do async def, and then hello command, open and close brackets. Then we're going to type interaction, colon, space, interaction. And this interaction allows our bot to send messages in Discord. And this interaction here relates to the interaction up here. However, as you notice here, this has to be a capital I for it to be related. As you can see here, like that. Great. And now all we have to do is just reply with hello. So how do we get our bot to send a message? Well, to do this, we type await and then interaction dot response dot send underscore message, open and close brackets, hello. There we go. We've now written the code for our bot to reply with hello when we type the command hello into Discord. So let's test it. Let's run our bot and let's see it in action. But first we need to actually add our bot to our server. And to do this, you need to head back to Discord Developer Portal. You want to come over to OAuth 2. Then you want to come down and click URL generator. You then want to go ahead and click on bot. Then you want to give it the administration permissions because we want our bot to be able to access everything. Then you want to come down, you can see here we've got a generated URL. And this is how we connect our bot to our server. This is how we add our bot to our server. So you want to go ahead and click copy. And then you want to paste this into your browser, into a new page. And look at this. Once you load this page, it pops up saying YouTube tutorial, because that's the name of our bot, wants to connect to you. So you want to go to add to server and you want to select the server you want to add it to. I want to add it to my development server. Great. So now what you have to do is click continue. And it's going to pop up saying it has the administrator command. Is that fine with you? That's all great. So you can go ahead and click authorize. I'm human. Go ahead and click that. And look, apparently it's now added to our server. So let's go check Discord and look at this. Our bot has been added to Discord, to our Discord server. YouTube tutorial is now in our server. That is so cool. Hopefully that worked for you too, and hopefully your bot is now inside of your server. But now let's run our bot and let's see our code in action. So if we come back here and open up the terminal, so we're either going Windows R, going to the terminal and navigating to the directory into where your code is, into where your Python file is. So for example, I'm using my terminal here in VS Code and the file, my main file, is inside of the directory coding Python YouTube making a bot in 2022. This is the directory in where my bot code is stored. But let's say you've created this file inside of like your documents folder. Well, you want to navigate there. You have to make sure that your terminal, the location that your terminal is in the same directory as where your file is. So great, it now is. So let's run our bot. So we're going to do Python 3 and then main.py because that is the name of our Python file. Great, let's run it and let's hopefully it should work. And I've just realised one vital mistake that I've made. I forgot to show you how we actually connect our server to our command. I can't believe I made that mistake. So let me show you how. I'm going to go over here and another one. We're going to call it guild underscore IDs is equal to testing server ID. Like that. Look at this. See, that now relates to this. So what this is saying is this command will work inside of that server that we created, that testing server, that development server, the place in where you're going to be testing your bot. And while we're here, I realised another mistake that I've made. Instead of it being Nextcord, it should be client. I do apologise for this, however, our bot will now work. So let's do it. Let's save it and let's rerun it in the terminal. There you go, and look at this. Our bot is now ready for use, as you can see here. So if we head to Discord, look at this here. You can see that our bot is now online. And if we come down here and we type /, look at this. You can see our bot has now appeared in the site here. And hopefully your bot has too. And if you go ahead and click on it on the site here, you can see, look, our command appeared, our hello command, with the description of replies with hello. So let's click it, and if we click enter, look at this. Our bot replied with hello. It worked. we've now just successfully created our first ever Discord bot. And you've got so much more possibility right now. You can go ahead and copy this command here, and you can create so many more commands. You can go ahead and give it a different name, a different description, and a new function name here. And if you go and do that, as well as a different response, you can create so many different commands with so many different responses, and your bot will be so cool by the end of it. But you might be thinking, I want to do more than just create commands. I want my bot to join voice channels and play audio, or I want my bots to be able to react to stuff. Well then, I've created a Discord bot series where I guide you through creating all of these different cool features for your Discord bot. If you're interested in that, I'll leave a link at the end of the description, as well as a card in the top right now. And hopefully that series will intrigue you into adding so many more features to your bot. But if you found this video useful right now in creating your first ever Discord bot, please do consider subscribing, as well as leaving this video a like, as honestly it makes such a difference in the YouTube algorithm. And subscribing is completely free, and you can unsubscribe at any time. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya!